Hi students, today's topic is convergence at infinity where fx is positive. See, we have already discussed convergence of a to infinity fx dx where fx is need not be positive. We have stated and also proved general condition for convergence of a to infinity fx dx where fx may be negative also. But now convergence at infinity of this a to infinity fx dx where fx is positive. First we state and prove the condition, then we consider a standard integral for comparison. As in the case of integral a to b fx dx where fx is positive, we have stated and proved condition for convergence, and then one test for one integral for comparison. Here also convergence at infinity where fx is positive, and also a standard integral for comparison. Next, problems on this, that is the topic. Today's topic is that one. Now, what is the condition for convergence? Let fx be positive in a to t, closed interval a to t. The necessary and sufficient condition for a to infinity fx dx to converge at infinity is that there exists k greater than 0 such that integral a to t fx dx is less than k. A to t fx dx is less than or equal to k. So this is the necessary and sufficient condition. That means the condition for necessary and sufficient condition for a to infinity fx dx to converge at infinity is this a to t fx dx must be bounded. Now proof is quite straightforward. It is like this. What is integral a to t f of x dx? Here t is greater than a. Suppose t is greater than a to t fx dx increases as t increases. Because a is fixed here, t changes when t increases. A to t fx dx also increases. When upper bound increases, means upper limit increases, a to t fx dx value of this increases. Therefore tends to a finite limit when t tends to infinity if it is bounded. That means there exists k so that a to t fx dx is less than or equal to k, or it tends to infinity because it is positive, fx dx is positive, it tends to infinity if it is not bounded above. So this a to infinity fx dx converges, fx is positive, that is important, only when integral a to t fx dx is bounded. This is the necessary and sufficient condition. Now comparison test. As in the case of convergence of integral a to b fx dx, we have ratio test there. Comparison of, we can compare two improper integrals. Comparison test. That is also we have taken ratio of two improper integrals. Same test is there. Comparison of two integrals. I take this as theorem. theorem. If fx and pi x are both positive, and fx and pi x less than or equal to fx, both positive, that is important, and pi x less than or equal to fx, then integral a to infinity fx dx converges, implies pi x also converges, implies a to infinity pi x dx converges, also converges, and a to infinity pi x dx do not converge implies a to infinity fx dx also does not converge. Very useful test it is. We have taken this as a theorem. What does theorem states? Two functions are there, fx and pi x, both are positive, and condition is pi x is less than or equal to fx for all x, it is for all x belongs to a to t, positive for all x belongs to a to t. Then if integral a to infinity fx converge implies a to infinity pi x converge, a to infinity pi x doesn't converge implies a to infinity fx doesn't converge. This is the theorem. Now first we prove this. Proof is based on the previous result. What is the previous result? Previous result is necessary and sufficient condition. Using that we can easily prove this. Proof of this. What is given here? Both fx and pi x are positive. Now we write what is given, fx and pi x are both positive, pi x is less than or equal to fx. First is, suppose integral a to infinity fx dx converge. What does this implies? This implies integral a to t fx dx is less than or equal to k, where k is positive. There exists a positive real number k, so that a to t fx dx is less than or equal to k for all x belongs to a to t, less than or equal to k. Now what is given? Pi x is less than or equal to fx. This implies integral a to t pi of x is less than or equal to a to t fx dx. This we have proved in the Riemann integration. We have proved this one. If both are positive, condition is that both are positive, pi x less than or equal to fx implies a to t pi x dx is less than or equal to a to t fx dx. Therefore, integral a to t pi of x dx is less than or equal to k for all x belongs to a to t. From this, fx a to infinity fx converge implies a to t fx dx is less than or equal to k. A to t pi x dx less than or equal to a to t fx dx implies a to t pi x dx is less than or equal to k. Now, by necessary and sufficient conditions, a to infinity pi of x dx converge. This is the first part. Secondly, suppose a to infinity pi of x dx does not converge. Does not converge. This implies a to t pi of x dx is not bounded above. Not bounded above. But what is given? Pi x is less than or equal to fx, and both are positive, and pi x is not bounded implies, this implies since pi x is less than or equal to fx, this implies a to t f of x dx is not bounded above, is also not bounded above. What does this imply? This implies a to infinity fx dx does not converge. Does not converge. Therefore, a to infinity pi x dx does not converge implies a to infinity fx dx also does not converge. Only thing is you have to understand the general, that is necessary sufficient condition. Proof is based on that. Using that necessary sufficient conditions, we have proved this one. Now, I hope all of you understood the concept here. And sometimes the proof may be asked. You must be able to write the proof also. For that you have to practice. You have to write the proofs and you have to practice. Next is, it is test for convergence. Comparison test it is. We take that also as a theorem. First concept is, I think it is clear for you, all of you understood the concept. Next is, if fx and pi x are both positive in a to t, where t greater than or equal to a, and they are continuous. Suppose fx and pi x are positive in a to t, or let us take a to infinity, and both are continuous. Both are continuous. That is important. Fx and pi x are positive in a to infinity. They are continuous in a to infinity, and limit fx by pi x as x tends to infinity is equal to L. Capital L is taken here. Is L. Then, and what is this L? L is neither 0 nor infinite. See, limit fx by pi x is L. What is L? Neither 0 nor infinite. It is obviously positive. Why it is positive? Because both fx and pi x are positive. It is positive. Suppose it is neither 0 nor infinite, then integral a to infinity fx dx and a to infinity pi x dx are alike. Either both converge or both do not converge. In case of a to b fx dx also, we have proved same comparison test. What is the test? If fx and pi x are both positive, limit fx by pi x as x tends to a is L. We have taken small l there. Small l. L is neither 0 nor infinite. Then a to b fx dx, a to b pi x dx are alike. Either both converge or both doesn't converge. Now, same thing we prove for convergence at infinity also. I think statement is clear for all of you. First you study the statement, then using conditions for convergence we can easily prove this one. Condition for convergence and also the very previous theorem, using that we prove this one. Proof is important. How to prove this one? Given limit fx by pi x as x tends to infinity is equal to L. Now what does this implies? This implies there exists capital M greater than A such that for all x greater than or equal to M, mod fx by pi x minus L is less than 1. We can take here any arbitrary number here. We have taken 1. This implies, see the first step, what we start is very important in the proof. We start with the given fx by pi x is L. This implies for all x greater than or equal to M, because x tends to infinity is there exists M, so that for all x greater than or equal to M, fx by pi x minus L is less than 1. What does this implies? This implies L minus 1 less than fx by pi x, which is less than L plus 1. Using that absolute values, we can easily write this one. This implies fx by pi x is less than L plus 1. Correct? Less than L plus 1. This implies fx is less than L plus 1 pi x. Here function instead of pi x, gx may be taken, but the concept important here, notation any function instead of pi, gx may be taken or hx may be taken. I think all these steps are clear. Fx is less than L plus 1 pi x. Take this as 1. Now, first we take, suppose pi x converges. Correct? Now we take pi x converges, or first we write, let integral a to infinity pi of x dx is a to m plus m to infinity, a to m pi x, m to infinity pi x. Now suppose integral m to infinity pi x dx converge. What do you have to prove? Now these fx and pi x, they are alike. A to infinity fx, a to infinity pi x are alike. Now we consider m to infinity pi x dx converge. What do we have to prove? This implies, when we say that m to infinity pi x dx converge, this implies there exists a real number, say c greater than 0, such that limit integral m to infinity pi x dx as t, m to t pi x dx, t tends to infinity is equal to c. Therefore limit t tends to infinity m to t L plus 1 pi x dx. What is this? L plus 1 constant, therefore L plus 1 into c. L plus 1 into c. What does this imply? Say m to t pi x dx is c, therefore L plus 1, because we have this one, L plus 1 pi x is greater than fx, so L plus 1 is a constant here, L plus 1 into c. What does this imply? This implies m to infinity L plus 1 pi x dx converge. And see 1 here. What is 1? 1 is, we have taken a to infinity as a to m, m to infinity, because from this limit is L means we have for all x greater than or equal to m, fx by pi x minus L is less than 1. We have started with this. So we have written a to infinity as a to m, m to infinity. Better take this as 1. Now from 1 this is finite. A to m pi x dx is finite because m is finite. Only we have, there is no point of discontinuities. We have taken a to infinity fx dx, a to infinity pi x dx means there is no point of discontinuity. Therefore m to infinity fx dx pi x dx converge and a to m pi x dx is finite. Therefore what happens? From 1 a to infinity pi x dx converge. A to infinity pi x dx converge. Therefore a to infinity l plus 1 pi x dx converge. L plus 1 pi x dx converge. Now since fx is less than l plus 1 pi x, a to infinity fx dx also converge. Therefore when pi x converge, that means a to infinity pi x converge implies a to infinity fx dx converge. Now next case is, suppose a to infinity pi x dx do not converge, then a to infinity fx dx doesn't converge. That I consider in the next video. Okay, thank you.